What's happening inside the Cleveland Browns quarterback room right now is something no one saw coming. It's been one of the most unpredictable quarterback races in the NFL this offseason, and the latest news coming out of training camp might just flip the script on everything we thought we knew. Names like Shedeur Sanders and Super Bowl champion Joe Flacco were supposed to be serious contenders for the Browns' starting job this season, but according to inside reports, they might already be out of the running. That's right, both of them could be sitting on the outside looking in, while two others move to the front of the line. You're going to want to stick around for this one because it's developing fast, and there's plenty to unpack. Let's take it back to how this whole situation started. The Cleveland Browns went into this offseason facing yet another quarterback crisis. Last year, their highly paid starter Deshaun Watson went down with a season-ending injury, leaving a huge hole at the most important position on the field. The front office knew something drastic had to be done, and they went into the 2025 NFL Draft ready to rebuild their quarterback depth chart from the ground up. In what turned out to be one of the more aggressive quarterback hauls of the draft, Cleveland selected Dillon Gabriel, a talented and gutsy quarterback out of Oregon, in the third round. Not long after that, they made an even bolder move by grabbing Shedeur Sanders in the fifth round, a prospect many had projected to go much earlier. Sanders, the son of NFL Hall of Famer Dillon Sanders, had been a standout at Colorado and was seen by many as a potential future star in the league. The fact that he slid all the way to the fifth round was one of the draft's bigger surprises. At that point, the Browns had four quarterbacks in the room. They already had 40-year-old veteran Joe Flacco, a proven winner with a Super Bowl title under his belt and years of experience in high-pressure situations. Alongside him was Kenny Pickett, a former first-round pick now entering his fourth NFL season, looking to finally cement himself as a reliable starter after bouncing around on a couple of teams. With two seasoned pros and two fresh rookies, it looked like Cleveland was setting up one of the most interesting quarterback battles heading into training camp. Early on, things played out about how you'd expect. Flacco and Pickett split most of the first-team reps, while Gabriel and Sanders got their feet wet working with the second team. Head coach Kevin Stefanski was thrilled with the competition, especially with how eager the rookies were to learn. He spoke highly of both Gabriel and Sanders, saying they were first in the building, last to leave, and soaking up every bit of information from the veterans around them. Stefanski even mentioned how much he enjoyed watching those young guys sit alongside experienced players like Flacco, Pickett, and Watson, feeding off their energy, picking their brains, and getting better simply by being in the room with them. But as we all know, things can change quickly in the NFL. This week, former NFL wide receiver T.J. Houshmandzadeh dropped some bombshell news on the Nightcap podcast. According to Houshmandzadeh, someone with direct knowledge of the situation inside the Browns facility revealed that the quarterback competition has already started to narrow down. In fact, it's reportedly come down to just two names, Kenny Pickett and Dillon Gabriel. That's right, folks. According to this insider, both Shedeur Sanders and Joe Flacco have essentially been pushed to the back of the line. Houshmandzadeh shared, "I was told by somebody that's in the building that ain't a player, it's really coming down to Kenny Pickett or Dillon Gabriel. If that report holds up, it's a major shakeup in what was supposed to be a four-man race. Now, to be fair, there's still plenty of time before the Browns have to make an official decision. The NFL regular season doesn't kick off until September, which means head coach Kevin Stefanski and his staff still have weeks of practices, meetings, and preseason games to evaluate every player. And based on Stefanski's earlier comments, he's pleased with the progress of all his quarterbacks, particularly the rookies. He spoke about how both Gabriel and Sanders are like sponges in the meeting room, eager to learn and dedicated to improving every day. Stefanski even painted a great picture of these young guys sitting there in film sessions, surrounded by a 40-year-old former Super Bowl MVP in Flacco, a fourth-year quarterback like Pickett who knows what it takes to win, and a highly accomplished, if currently injured, Deshaun Watson. It's a room full of experience and different personalities, and it's only natural that the younger players would soak up everything they can." As for Joe Flacco, the veteran signal caller has always approached situations like this with a calm, measured attitude. He's been around long enough to know that these decisions are out of his hands, and all he can do is show up, compete, and control what he can control. Speaking recently about his experience in this latest training camp, Flacco admitted that while it's great to be back on the field, there's always a part of him that wonders if he can still play at a high level. He said, "It's fun to get back out there and actually play a little football again. I've done this a million times, but every time you come back in the off-season, you feel like there's a little piece of you going, okay, let's see if I still have it." It's a refreshingly honest take from a guy who's seen it all in this league. The interesting wrinkle in all of this is Shedeur Sanders. Despite his pedigree, natural talent, and strong college resume, it appears he's fallen behind in the race for now. That doesn't mean his story in Cleveland is over. Far from it. Sanders is known for his resilience and competitive fire, and it wouldn't be surprising to see him make a push later in camp or during preseason games. The young quarterback has been counted out before, and with his athleticism, arm strength, and sharp football IQ, there's still a chance he could climb his way back into the conversation. In the end, this quarterback battle is far from decided, but the latest word from inside the building suggests that it's Kenny Pickett and Dillon Gabriel leading the pack. Cleveland fans should stay tuned, because if we've learned anything about the NFL, it's that things can change in an instant. One injury, one great performance in a preseason game, or one breakout practice could flip this competition on its head. Until then, it's Pickett and Gabriel's race to lose. All right, football fans, I want to hear what you think about this one. Are you surprised to see Dillon Gabriel rising up the depth chart so quickly? Do you think Kenny Pickett deserves the job, or is Joe Flacco being overlooked despite his championship pedigree? And what about Shedeur Sanders? Can he turn things around and fight his way back into the mix? Ourselves one of the most electric storylines brewing in the NFL this season. Picture this, a rookie quarterback who fell all the way to the 5th round of the 2025 NFL Draft, who just so happens to be the son of a Hall of Fame legend, now fighting tooth and nail in a crowded quarterback room for his chance to shine. I'm talking about none other than Shedeur Sanders, and the buzz around this young man is growing louder by the day. The Cleveland Browns rookie has found himself at the center of the NFL spotlight, not just because of his draft day slide, but because his father is none other than the legendary Deion Sanders, Hall of Fame defensive back, former college coach, and one of the biggest personalities the sport has ever known. Now Shedeur is making waves of his own. At just 23 years old, Sanders is locked into an intense four-way quarterback battle in Cleveland. Alongside him is fellow rookie Gabriel Dillon and two veteran passers in Kenny Pickett and Super Bowl 47 MVP Joe Flacco. For a while now, many believe Flacco was the clear favorite to claim the starting role. His experience, his Super Bowl pedigree, and his command of the locker room seemed to give him the edge. But as we inch closer to preseason action, it's becoming clear that Shedeur Sanders has no intention of being a background player. In fact, this upcoming preseason might be his golden opportunity to leap up the depth chart and snatch that starting job away from the veterans. And just when you thought the hype couldn't grow any stronger, Browns legend Hanford Dixon stepped in with a bold prediction. On the latest episode of his show, Dixon made it clear that he believes Shedeur Sanders could be the guy Cleveland has been desperately searching for over the years. He didn't just stop there. Dixon went on to say that we could soon be talking about Shedeur Sanders in the same breath as Lamar Jackson and Joe Burrow, the elite quarterbacks who have dominated the AFC North in recent seasons. That is some high praise coming from a Cleveland icon who knows a thing or two about what it takes to succeed in this league. Of course, Sanders isn't there yet. Before he can start chasing MVP trophies or playoff runs, he's got to earn his spot on the Browns' 53-man roster. But if there's one thing we've learned from stories like Lamar Jackson's, it's that greatness doesn't always arrive on schedule. Drafted out of Louisville in 2018, Lamar revolutionized the quarterback position with his dual threat abilities. He captured MVP honors in both 2019 and 2023 and came heartbreakingly close to winning again in 2024 after a monster season with 41 touchdown passes and just 4 interceptions. Though he narrowly lost out to Josh Allen for that award, Lamar's rise to stardom remains one of the great modern NFL stories. Then there's Joe Burrow, another AFC North star who's made a habit of silencing doubters. After being named NFL Comeback Player of the Year twice, Burrow led the Cincinnati Bengals to snap a 5-year playoff drought in 2021 and even reach Super Bowl 56 that same season. These are the kinds of names Hanford Dixon is placing Shedeur Sanders alongside, and while it's a lofty comparison, it speaks volumes about the potential the young quarterback has shown so far. Sanders brings with him 4 seasons of collegiate experience, and his numbers tell a story of remarkable efficiency and playmaking ability. After transferring from Jackson State to Colorado alongside his father, he played in 24 games, threw 64 touchdown passes, and completed 71.8% of his throws with just 13 interceptions. Those are numbers any NFL team would envy, and Browns fans are starting to believe they might just have their franchise quarterback hiding in plain sight. As we head toward training camp and the preseason grind, all eyes will be on Cleveland's quarterback room. Will the experienced Joe Flacco hold his ground? Can Kenny Pickett find a second wind? Or will Shedeur Sanders pull off the unthinkable and rise to the top before opening day? One thing's for sure, Hanford-Dixon's words have added fuel to an already blazing fire. And if Shedeur can deliver on even a fraction of that promise, the AFC North better be ready, because there could be a new star quarterback ready to light up the dog pound. If you're a football fan who loves an underdog story, if you believe in legacies, and if you live for the drama of a heated QB battle, this is one saga you won't want to miss. Make sure to hit that like button, subscribe for more breaking NFL news and analysis, and drop a comment below. Do you think Shedeur Sanders can reach the same level as Lamar Jackson and Joe Burrow, or will the veterans hold him off this season? I want to hear your thoughts. Stay tuned.